Hey everyone, it's Monday actually. I'm filming today. Hope you guys had a great week. I did. I'm been busy, but not too busy, so it's kind of nice to have kind of a lull after the holidays. I have here, as you can see, some blooms that I've done. And these blooms have all been done with my regular paints that I have in my bottles. Nothing, I haven't mixed up anything special. I've also used my regular base paint. However, I am making it thicker to mimic kind of the house paint, but on the thinner side of thinner than house paint, because I want it to be able to flow a little bit better. And I'm pretty happy with the way things are coming out. I am using the cell activator recipe from Jen Neal, which is 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. And I did get this is the new titanium white paint. However, this was the one that I did a couple weeks ago, and as you can see, they're very similar. So I don't really know that you need to buy the titanium white from Amsterdam. I mean, if you can get it, great. I drove myself nuts trying to get it, and I finally got a tube. So yeah, these are the Amsterdam white. This is just my regular Artist Loft Flow White. And actually, I got more cells on this one. But what I'm learning is, because believe me, there have been many, many, many fails. I have scraped a ton of tiles. So I'm not telling you guys that to discourage you. I'm telling you to encourage you, because keep going. You'll get it eventually. And what it really boils down to is consistency of your paint, which I know we talk a lot about, but you have to figure out what consistency works for you. So you just have to keep doing it and adjusting your paint to figure out what is going to work. So here's another one that I did. Again, regular paint. I don't remember what colors these were, but look at all that cell action going on. Regular paint, regular background paint, Artist Loft Flow acrylic, and then just used my cell topper, cell accelerator, cell activator. I don't know why I just got stuck calling it a cell topper, or topper paint. So anyhow, those are some, I know I'm really bad about showing you guys dried results. And this is the one from the video a couple weeks ago when I did this one too. So that's how that one came out. I think it came out really cool. It's different, but I like it. I did on this part right here, run my brush back through that. It was almost like a caterpillar there. So I just ran my brush through it, or a skewer through it, just to break it up a little bit so it didn't look like a caterpillar. So just little things you can do. I did these, and I showed these on some of the sites. So those were done with the black cell activator, and I was getting so frustrated because I couldn't get the black to sell out. So I added just a drop of the regular silicone in my mix, in my topper mix. And it seemed to really get some cool effects. I really like these. A lot of people have said they remind them of sunflowers, and yeah, I can see that, definitely. So got a lot of really cool stuff going on there. The gold is the 24 karat gold that I mixed with the 14 karat gold. And so it's nice and shimmery, really pretty. I thought those came out really nice. So it'll make a nice coaster set. And these I'm going to put back so they can dry a little bit more. forgot to bring home the little canvas one that I did a few weeks ago with that. I think it was these two, and then I did a little canvas, and that one is, I have it hanging at work. Everybody loves it. I need to bring it home so I can get it resined. Okay, showed you that one. This one was the one I did a few weeks ago that I just love how it came out. And this was the Dutch pour that I didn't blow out. I just tilted it. Really cool color combination with that one. And then this was the one, again, I did not give you a close-up, and I wanted to show you dry results of the one last week that I did. I think that one came out really soft and pretty too. I just love that, this bloom here. Really pretty. You always have a star of the show, and then you have, you know, the other ones that kind of bump up the star of the show. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys those. I'm not always good about doing that. So that yellow one that I did last week, the bottle bottom, it came out okay, but it's for a client. And so I soaked it off and redid it because that gold just kind of took over. So I just really wasn't happy with that. So I redid it, and I'm much happier with it now. All right, so today we're going to do some more blooms. And I'm going to be working with my Amsterdam white. I did break down and order. I think I'm regretting it now. Because I'm realizing that you can do it with just regular Floetrol. But I won't have to mix in the stinky wood stain conditioner, hopefully. But that's on its way from Australia. It was $32, I think, total. And they did not charge me shipping, which was really cool. So make sure when you go in, if you're going to get it off of eBay, which is where I got it, first I put in Australian Floetrol, and that brought up a bunch of them, but they all were charging horrendous amounts for shipping. So then I put in Floetrol, and it brings up a whole menu of different, like I put in Australian Floetrol, and it brought up different categories. And I think it was under like home improvement or home, something with home. So I clicked on that one, and that's where I found the $32 one, no shipping. It just was $32 total. So try and find that one if you're going to order it, and we'll see if it makes a huge difference. I'm still going to use it with my regular base paint. Because I'm just not crazy about the house paint. It's so messy and it's so thick, and I just feel like I get a better blow, and then it's easier to tilt with my regular artist loft. So I'm going to show you, hopefully you can kind of see the consistency here. It's thicker than my regular base paint. I didn't add any water to it, but I mixed the Elmer's glue and some Floetrol. The Elmer's glue all, I put about half of what I put in paint, and then I filled it up with Floetrol, and I just kept adding till I got the consistency I liked. And it's not leaving a mound, so, but it's a little bit thicker than my regular base, if that makes any sense. And again, you know, we can show you all day long about consistency on a camera, but it's basically boils down to you figuring it out, mixing up your colors, and figuring out the consistencies on your own, because at the end of the day, you know, it has to work for you. I'm going to show you a little trick that I did not figure it out. I watch videos constantly. I think it was Christina Welch video where she talks about the cell activator. So whipping it. You almost like whipping it like whipped cream right before you put it on. And I think she got that advice from Jen Neal. So yeah, just wanted to give credit where credit's due and not take the credit for it. But it does make a difference. All right, so I'm going a little bit bigger today. We'll see how this comes out. This is a 10 by 10 canvas, not a tile. And they do react a little bit differently on canvas. So I have sprayed my back with water just to make it nice and tight. And I have my push pins on there. And I'm going to try and keep my canvas in frame today. I noticed by watching my other videos that I was not doing that. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to have time to get 2 of them done, but while this one is sitting, because you kind of got to let it sit till it moves back in, we might be able to get another video in there. Let me see. Oh yeah, we're only at about 10 minutes now, so not too bad. All right, I'm going to use some colors I used earlier today. This is Dioxazine Purple with Prism Violet. I mixed those 2 half and half because the Dioxazine is so dark. Prism Violet lightens it up a little bit. I have some Iridescent Medium in here, and I also put in some of the elements. I had elements mixed up, the color art elements, basic elements, and I don't know if they're basic elements, but anyhow, I put some shimmer in some of these that I have here because I didn't have containers to keep them, so I just poured them into colors that I have. And actually, the little bit that I've worked with the color art elements, they're a powder, they're a pigment powder, and they're transparent. So if you mix them with a little bit of regular paint, they become a little bit more opaque or semi-transparent, and it just gives you a better effect. They don't like disappear so much. So you might want to try that if you're having trouble with that. All right, so I have a little bit of that mixed in here and some Iridescent Medium. So this purple is actually pretty sparkly. Now when you're working on a bigger surface, remember that you need to put more paint. So you need a bigger puddle. I was really excited when I ordered my titanium white. I also ordered this Pebeo. It is the iridescent green blue. I've seen Canela Sirocco use that, and I really like that color. So I ordered me some. And there's also, this is the green blue. There's also a blue green, but it was on back order. I wanted to get both of them. But I did add some blue primary, sky blue primary elements in there, so it's going to show up a little bit more blue. And then I've got my 24 karat gold. The gold tends to take over, so use it sparingly. Now here is my white topper. And before you use it, like I said, just really give it a good, like you're making whipped cream. And I do have my, this is 3 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint, and then a few drops of the wood conditioner, Bin Wax wood conditioner, which is oily, which is what gives you the cells. Okay, so I got that nice and frothy. You want to actually see, you know, don't worry about the bubbles. You're just getting it really whipped up there. Okay, then we're going to put some of that in the middle. Again, the amount that you put in the middle is, you know, something you need to experiment with. I don't like a lot, I don't like a little. So, there you go. Give it a little bit of a torch. Get some of those air bubbles out. Another thing I like about this better than the house paint is it's easier to get the bubbles out. It's easier to get the bubbles out of your regular color too. So, all right. And what you want to do when you first blow is you're going to blow down, straight down into that white puddle to disperse it. And then you're going to blow up and fan it out a little bit to get your petal. I like to keep mine looking more like flowers, so I tend to do the 5 or 6 petal. All right, I'm going to blow one more time into that white. See if we can get some cells going on in there. And then you're just going to let it set and come back to the center At this point, when I'm waiting for that to do that, I like to go around the edges with paint so that my paint has somewhere to move around on. Makes it slippery. So basically in my formula, the only thing that I have done that's extra that you might not already have, just depending on whether you've been pouring or not, is the wood conditioner, which is by Minwax. I'll go grab the can and show you guys. So Minwax wood conditioner, and I did order the titanium white, but I don't really think you need it. It does seem to give a little bit more cell action, so if you can come buy it in your stores and you don't have to. I did order it though, although somebody said they're out of it now. Jerry's Artorama, I did get mine from there. So, but try it with what you have at home first. That's kind of what led me to this, because I didn't have everything that everybody else had. So I was having to kind of figure it out and do my own thing. I'm trying to pop that bubble, but it does not want to pop. Oh, that was not a good sound. And again, I'm gonna, I want to leave this in a flower shape. I like the flower shape. So I think I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to do the smaller one because I really want to let that middle come back in, and it just is better because, as you can see, it is not ready to move. And sometimes you can tap the back of a canvas to get it to move, but let's just set it aside while it's resting. Let it rest, and we'll do a little one. Little baby one. And this is a gallery wrap, which I really want to start buying all the time because I love how they drip over the sides. All right, so we're gonna I'm gonna use a little bit different colors on this one. Put my puddle down. What did I want to use? Oh, okay. I had to remember there for a minute. Okay, have to remember too, not as much paint on this one. All right, so that was my golden Prussian blue with iridescent medium in it. And then that was the PBO green blue iridescent. And then changing it up a little bit and putting some of the peridot. This is Folk Art Peridot. It is a craft paint, so I mix it a little bit different, a half and half paint to glue, and then that same amount, whatever that half was, of Floetrol, because the craft paints are already on the thinner side. So again, right before I use it, I'm whipping it up. I don't need to whip it up as much, but still give it a really good stir. I think it's all that air that really makes a difference. Okie doke. Okay, didn't get much, not as much cell action with that one. I don't like how that blow went. But let's let it come back and rest a little bit. You might get some more cells coming up in there. I'm going to give it a little bit of a torch. I'm going to blow some of that paint back in there. Nope, I don't like that one. See, sometimes you just have to scrape. Okay, start over. I think I had too much cell activator there. I think that was the problem. Let's give that a little bit of a torch. Make sure that it's sliding around that puddle. I can already tell you there's not enough white on that one. Much better. Still not a whole bunch of cell action. You know, I'm starting to wonder too if it does have something to do with the different types of paint. I know that gold, especially that 24 karat gold, is just really good things with cells. So, but I'm getting some cell action going on here. So let me do around the edges, and then we'll let that one set while we blow out or stretch the other one. Another thing that I have found, I've driven myself kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys have too, but trying to replicate other people's stuff. And I really just want to say, and that's going to be my header for this video, is these are blooms my way. I had to figure out what I liked visually and what excited me. And one of the things that I like is to be able to still see a flower. Another reason to use the thinner base paint, give you guys a close-up of that, is because it gives you more freedom with that. Because of the not being so thick, so you don't really have to worry about getting so much paint off the canvas. It still dries nicely. You don't get cracking. With some of that house paint I was doing at first, you know, I was getting a lot of weird reactions. and we're drying. It wasn't drying nicely. So here we go with this one. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and tilt a little bit. It's now ready to move. As you can see, it's all moving together. So, and I'm not gonna, I want to reach the petals out to the edge, but I'm not going to worry about really, you know, stretching super far on this one. I just want to make it a little bit bigger. And open up some of those cells in there. And as you guys know, if you've watched me for a while, you know I like negative space, so I'm okay with, you know, one flower being in the middle of the canvas, as long as it's dramatic and, you know, looks good. It's okay if it's in the middle, and it's okay if you have some negative space going on. Let's move that around a little bit, see if we can get some of those cells open up a little bit without making it deformed too much. I want it to look like a flower, but I want it to look like an abstract flower. And this one has some really cool stuff going on in the middle, so. Yep. Give you guys a close-up of that. I just love having like the messy middle and then having the petals on the outer edges be kind of soft. Soft and ethereal. And I like those bands that you get, those bands of color there on the edges from your puddle. So I think I'm going to leave that one just like that. Very happy with it. I'll go around and touch up my edges when I shut the camera off. So let's get that one out of the way. And all of those paints, remember, had the iridescent medium in them, or they had some of the primary elements, the color art. So they're going to be very shiny. Okay, and here's this one, and as you can see, it's done a little bit. I'm not going to move this one around too much because I like what it's doing. Let me see, make sure I get you guys in here. Give you a close-up. And I'll show you these dry. I'll show you guys next week what these look like dry. But like those coasters I showed you, those I just did yesterday and they were dry this morning. So and this technique may or may not work for you. It's you just have to play with it. But don't let what other people are doing affect what you like. Because I can guarantee you what you find pleasing to yourself, to your eye, you know, is a good thing. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that one where it's at. Got a little bit of bubbles in there, but those will pop. And another nice thing about those popping, I don't like to torch at this point because I don't like all those little speckly white looks. So I usually just leave it alone at this point. Some of them will pop and leave, you know, white speckles, but most of them pop and go away. They're fine. But with house paint, I've noticed you get little pop marks if you don't get the bubbles out. They actually leave deep, deep pockets. So another reason with the, oh, we're getting really close to being done here. So another advantage to using the Artist Loft Flow White. So give it a go, give it a try. These are blooms my way. And hopefully you guys learned something and like what I'm doing. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And share my videos, it helps me out. This is number 52, by the way. So this is a year of videos. I've now done one a week for a year. So yay! We're almost at 600 subscribers. I wish I was at a higher number. I feel like after a year I should be at a higher number, but we'll get there. I'm just going to keep making videos because I love doing it. And I love teaching and showing you guys, you know, I have a background in teaching. So it is my desire to help you guys learn. And hopefully you are. So I will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.